Thank you for joining me on the journey. This is Completed Christianity. So, welcome again. Another episode of Being Complete. And today is fifth day, what they say. And so, I'll get back to the one from the previous one from Pounders and Carrico. I'll get back to that. But for today, then we're going to hit a little different subject. And we're going to be talking about Hanukkah. And this video is going to be the Messiah's condemnation of Hanukkah. And stay with me. We're going to bear this out, even though this is highly controversial. So we're going to bear this out. We're going to prove this, that is actually exactly what is going on. And we're going to take a look at it right here in John 10. This is all we need. John 10. This is all we need. So we're going to read through this and take a look at how he's the good shepherd. He has his sheep. His sheep hear his voice, and they don't hear the voice of a stranger. And watch how this plays out. So, truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter through the door into the sheepfold, but climbs up by another way, that one is a thief and a robber. But he who enters through the door is the shepherd of the sheep. The doorkeeper opens for him, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he has brought out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, because they know his voice, and they shall by no means follow a stranger, but shall flee from him, because they do not know the voice of strangers. Yahshua used this figure of speech, but they did not know what he had been saying to them. Yahshua therefore said to them again, Truly, truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. Whoever enters through me shall be saved, and shall go in and shall go out and find pasture. The thief does not come except to steal and to slaughter and to destroy. To steal, kill, and destroy. I have come that they might possess life, and that they might possess it beyond measure. I am the good shepherd. So good shepherd is a device from the Old Testament. Okay, they know what he's talking about. He's saying, I am the good shepherd. Good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep, but the hireling and not being a shepherd, one who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches the sheep and scatters them. Now the hireling flees because he is a hireling and not concerned about the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and I know mine, and mine know me. Even as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have which are not of this fold. Remember that. And other sheep I have which are not of this fold. I have to bring them as well. And they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one flock, one shepherd, because the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to receive it again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have authority to lay it down. I have authority to receive it again. This command I have received from my Father. Again, there came a division among the Yahudim because of these words, and many of them said, He is a demon and is mad. Why do you listen to him? Others said, These are not the words of one possessed by a demon. Is a demon able to open the eyes of the blind? At that time, the Hanukkah came to be in Jerusalem, and it was winter. So when all of this was going on, everything that we've read, all the way from the beginning, him talking about his sheep, and that he has sheep that are not of this fold, all of this happens at the same time. This whole chapter is one event on the same day, on the feast of dedication, and so this this is this is Hanukkah. It's a non-scriptural feast. It's not a commanded feast. So all of this happens. 22. At that time, the Hanukkah came to be in Jerusalem, and it was winter, and Joshua was walking in the set-apart place in the porch of Solomon. So everybody uses these two verses to say, see, we should keep Hanukkah because the Messiah, Joshua, he was keeping Hanukkah. Well, the text doesn't say he was keeping Hanukkah. And if we understand what Hanukkah says, if we understand what Hanukkah is in the Jewish mind, in the first century Jewish mind, then everything that he's just said up here is very offensive. Basically, that one verse that ties it in is very offensive. That I have sheep that are not of this fold. Because the first century Jewish mind, the Jewish mind in general, Hanukkah is a celebration of Jewish supremacy and Jewish elitism. Because in the Jewish mind, they're saved because they're Jewish. And that's why, like in the first century, the Pharisees, they were circumcising people into Judaism, into first century Judaism. Because once you're a Jew, you're part of the life to come. That's all that matters. You get circumcised, you're a Jew, you're part of the life to come. And so this created this elitism that you have, if you're not one of us, then you're just a Gentile. The rabbis would declare them dogs and unclean beasts, especially the Gentiles that used to be Hebrews, the 10 tribes that lost their identity, that never came back. In the first century they still knew who they were. But they lost their identity as Hebrews. They became Gentiles. They still knew that they were part of certain tribes, but they became Gentiles and lived like Gentiles. And because they had been divorced from the covenants, they were no longer allowed in. But Joshua has come to repair that breach. He's the repairer of the breach. So, here in this time of Hanukkah, this Jewish supremacy and elitism is based in a military victory from the days of the Maccabees, from where the whole Hanukkah story comes from. The days of the Maccabees, where by military victory they put down the Gentiles, they conquered the Gentiles and were supreme over them. This is in the minds of these people, and now it's in this timing of Daniel's 70th week, in this time, and they know it's time for the Messiah to come. That's why John's men went out to him and said, "Are you the Messiah?" That's why here they're saying, "Are you the Messiah?" Later on in this, they tell us, "Are you the Messiah? Are you the Messiah?" Because they're expecting the Messiah because it's time. And in their mind, the Messiah is going to be a Maccabee. He's going to be just like Judah Maccabee. He's going to come in. He's going to put down all the Gentiles, wipe out our Roman oppressors, and we are going to have victory over these Gentiles, over these dog Gentiles, these unclean men. We're going to have this victory when the Messiah shows up. So this is all their thought process. But the Messiah hasn't come to destroy Gentiles. He's come to save them. And this is not part of the Hanukkah plan. This is not part of what the Jews and the Jewish leadership wanted and expected. This is not it. And so it goes on and says, so the Yahudim surrounded him and said, "How long do you keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, say to us plainly." Joshua answers him and says, "I have told you, and you do not believe me. The works that I do in my Father's name, and they bear witness concerning me. but you do not believe because you are not of my sheep. So here again, he ties this whole thing together. It's one event. It's all the same day, all the same time. All takes place here on Hanukkah. He hasn't shown up to celebrate this. He's shown up to give a rebuke. They're all waiting for the Messiah to come in and destroy these Gentiles. And he says, I have sheep that are not of this fold. And if they're not of this fold, which is Judaism, they're Gentiles. He's saying, I have sheep that are Gentiles to bring them to me. My sheep, 26, but you do not believe because you are not of my sheep, as I said to you. But see, that's not in their mindset. Their mind is, oh, I'm a Jew, I'm born a Jew, I'm circumcised into Judaism, I'm part of the life to come, I'm saved, I'm part of the sheep, I'm part of the good shepherd's sheep, the Messiah's sheep. I'm in, Gentiles are out. But you do not believe because you're not of my sheep. As I told you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give them everlasting life, and they shall by no means ever perish, and no one shall snatch them out of my hand. For my Father has given them to me, who has given them to me, is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. My Father and I are one. And then again, the Yahudim picked up stones to stone him, and Yahshua answered, many good works I have shown you from my Father. Because of which of these works do you stone me? The Yahudim answered and said, we do not stone you for a good work, but for blasphemy, because you, being a man, make yourself Elohim. And Yahshua answered them, is it not written in your own Torah, your law? I said you are Elohim. If he called them Elohim, to whom the word of the Mighty One came, and it is impossible for the scripture to be broken? Do you say of him whom the Father set apart and sent into the world, you are blaspheming because I said, I am the Son of the Mighty One? If I do not do the works of my Father, then do not believe me. But if I do, though you do not believe me, believe the works, so that you know and believe the Father is in me and I in him. Therefore, they were seeking again to seize him, but he went forth out of their hand, and once more to the other side of the Jordan, to a place where John was immersing at first, and there he stayed. And many came to him and said, Yohanan indeed did no sign, yet all that Yohanan said about this man was true, and many believed him there. So this day of Hanukkah, this day, all this happened. He tells about his sheep. And he says, I have sheep that are not of this fold, and that's not what it was all about. He has not come to celebrate this. He has come to set this in order. Psalm 89:34, my covenant I will not break, nor alter the word that has gone out of my lips. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Comments down below. Comments of opposition are welcome. Just don't say anything dumb like we're not under the law. We're under grace, because you've been taught to use that verse outside of the bounds of its intended context. Subscribe now. Smash that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you get notifications of all future videos.